Can still have gold blocks.
this video really fast. I may sound different, and the audio may not sync exactly to the video, and that's because I'm using a really
Is it
dumb
really?
setup at the moment. I'm in the process of moving, so I do apologize for any
That's
slight
uncomfortable. It'll
inconsistencies.
take a
I
while
just
until I'm
try my
ready to
best
play
with
it.
this,
Let's
and I hope
see.
you guys enjoy the video.
Because I need to warm up.
Yo everyone,
There's a
what's
chance I
going
might
on?
not
Couriway
acknowledge
here, and
that.
today I
I need
have
to warm
a
up.
new video. It is the new 1.16.1 world record. It is a 14-minute, 39-second real-time, 14-minute, 36-second in-game time. I'm insanely happy with this. This is absolutely insane. I've been really grinding 1.16 after I got the 1.14 world record.
So it's about an average spawn.
So many worlds, so many attempts.
You don't.
I've been resetting like crazy. I haven't been playing for PvP.
Obviously, the best spawn is you spawn straight in the village for this vanilla strat.
I decided to stick with that and
I think he was just looking for a vanilla world record. So he's only going for a vanilla world record.
Village.
Getting 7 obsidian there. He's got a saddle as well, but obsidian is the better route.
You can see it already. And I get a lot of bread in these chests, which is actually really cool.
I think with 7 obsidian, you start thinking about where to get diamonds to fill the rest in, so you can blind travel.
Here because I have 4 iron from the blacksmith, and then I can just make an iron pick, since I'm guaranteed to be able to get a bucket and an iron pick and a flint and steel from getting 4 iron in the blacksmith. So I'm able to make all my tools. I decided to still make a hoe because I don't know if I'm going to get any more bread in the chest, and it's honestly forced a habit more than anything.
It's all just perfect, complete play so far.
First, and I apologize if I'm talking kind of fast in this, but I don't really have a lot of time to say what's going on because the time is so fast. So I do apologize.
His routing is basically perfect in this village.
I don't really do these with commentary.
Almost completely perfect routing.
I do it with no microphone, and I kind of just have the video going, so I feel like doing any post commentary is better than just no sound whatsoever.
And that way, it's kind of a bit of a linear village.
Grabbing this tree before I kill the golem, just so I have wood.
Something
you'll notice is that I did get 7
no, well, it has to be.
Chest, which is really big.
Any sub 15 should be checked to make sure it's real, because you get too much clout with the world record. You can't have people cheat the clout.
If I do want to do nether travel.
If you don't think this sus,
awesome.
yeah.
So
it looks completely normal.
At that point, I realized I don't need this hoe at all, and I decided to organize my bed.
Having the hoe isn't even that bad. It fills a hotbar slot, so you have to do less.
So I think I have 7 right now and not 8.
Inventory management.
Another bed, and I click these.
You can just toss the hoe later, and you've already got a free hotbar slot for picking up flint or some shit.
It didn't end up mattering anyway. So I grab all my beds,
and this is where the routing starts to go pretty bad. There's no reason to go to this hill. What? He's already checked this entire area. If we go back here, he's already looked at this entire area. See? Oh, let me go back. Come on. Look, he's already checked this whole area. I don't know why he thought he'd go to the hills. He's seen this whole area. And it doesn't look at all. 2 lava pools to the right there? Is he really? Oh, right, you would have checked in the seed, yeah. Easily visible right over that right hill. Yeah. So I don't think he knows it because, I don't know, well, is it confirmed? Well, it's not. It's confirmed when it's on speedrun.com. But recent science, modern science says lava pools are 10 times more likely to generate at Y63 and below. Said he's going to get flint. There's a river there. Yeah, that river's better than the ocean for flint. It takes longer to get flint in an ocean than it does at a river. I think it was a pretty major misplay to climb that hill. Because, yeah, it was streamed. I don't know. Recent science says you should stay flat and low. So over here, look how flat this is. This is beautiful. This is great lava pool terrain. There's going to be like 10 lava pools over here. I don't think he knows it because it is kind of niche at the moment. No one's made a big video on it. Not many people talk about it. Exactly where the pool is because it's flat. Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't need to be flat. It just needs to be low. And this whole area is sea level, which means you're just going to have 1,000 lava pools over here. And again, he's already checked this entire area. This hill that he's running towards, he's already checked this whole area. What's at the top of the hill? Just climb over here. There's more desert over here. There's more terrain. Headed for the river. Yeah, going straight where he's going right now is your absolute best chances of finding a lava pool. I thought that he was going for a magma ravine when he was running over here.
Nothing
Because
really
there's
to
no reason. There's nothing over here. You've already checked it. You've seen this whole area. I was like, oh, he's going for a magma ravine. He doesn't want to try and find a lava pool. Because that's a strategy. If you just want to enter the nether as soon as possible and you want to stop thinking about it, you just go to the ocean and go to a magma ravine. Often going to the ocean is, if you want to dig down, you go to the ocean and half the job's already done for you. You have to break a couple of blocks a bit slowly because of you're underwater. But you're already at like Y32 at the bottom of the ocean. So you can dig to the bottom a lot quicker. But yeah, climbing this hill is, I mean, look, maybe he doesn't know anything about lava pool Y levels, and at that point, it's like still, even then, it's still a mistake because there was terrain over here. There was terrain on the right, and there was very little terrain over here. He wants to increase his positive X, but even then, over on his left is negative Z. Maybe he wants to do that as well. Maybe he wants to keep his negative Z so he can be in positive negative. But yeah, he doesn't climb the hill, but he walks around the edge of it. It's
note in this desert. Check my chords. I see that I'm negative, which
there was just so much great terrain over here. And effectively, since his X was only negative 114, if he goes into the nether, he's closer to positive, except on the Z. But he's not exactly negative here. You're negative once both of your coordinates are massive, not when one of your coordinates is quite small like that X.
Something that I don't really like being. I usually like trying
Couldn't
to
have gravel. There was a river.
Stronghold.
There was a river on the right. Going right at this hill.
But I decided to play this in a bit of an interesting way.
See, when he said that as well, I was like, oh shit, he's going to a magma ravine. That's interesting. People are going to go to magma ravines all the time now because they're a good, consistent way to get into the nether. You don't have to rely on lava luck. But this world was just excellent for lava pools. It was so flat and low, and there was a river, so you had gravel. Just going on the right there, he would have had such a good day.
I decided to hug the coast here because I know I need gravel still, and this is also where I make my bucket, and this is also where
coasts are worse for gravel than rivers.
Whatever. And
in terms of raw time, because he says he's only going for world record. He's not going for good times, which means.
I see some gravel to the right. I decided to go grab
See, this is so odd.
And then I'm kind of just hoping I see lava on this coast. I decide to not go in the desert because of the coordinates that I'm at, and I want to still be.
Yeah, it was positive.
Negative in both
it was positive, negative, and positive. His two structures.
So I see a temple, and I decided
the fortress was positive. The bastion was.
I'm just looking really just as a way to get in.
Positive,
the reason
negative.
I'm still playing this out without.
See, this is silly. Like these hills, all terrible. And that flat terrain, you can basically tell from a distance whether or not it's fire because there's so much grass there. And he's already checked this.
I'm pretty far out on both my coordinates.
I don't know where he's going.
Where I go. So most likely
he admits it himself that this is a mistake, so it doesn't really matter there. But this is really just odd.
Ocean travel, and that'll be really nice.
Like, I'd expect that he was tired maybe when he was playing this.
That was really cool, awesome MVP.
He didn't push negative LSD. He's heading into positive X right now.
I decided, you know what, screw it. I might as well just boat to the end of this desert. And again, you know, it kind of sucks that I have to waste all this time boating, but I'm able to.
He didn't go to the temple.
A lot of distance early on.
Yeah, he's going into positive X right now.
While also hopefully getting more ocean travel in the
and this terrain is better, but it's not as good as the terrain back at that river.
So I'm really hoping
this is great lava pool terrain.
So
I don't see a reason to go to the temple. Yeah, well, he doesn't go there, right?
I either would have killed the runner, or I would have just tried to blindly find the stronghold.
Oh, Era said.
In the two plays.
Yeah.
But
no, I think he's probably joking.
In this little pit here. and I'm able to use that
This
to
is
my
a
advantage and do the
Y63
nether at
pool
around
as
5
well.
minutes, which is really nice. You know, not the fastest time with
So the science did work there, but
you know
he didn't
how
exactly
some
do
of these
it.
runs go. You know, in my past PB,
Cosmic
my
radiation.
1758, and I screwed up the block placement. Really good job, me. My 1758, I entered sub 4 minutes, which is kind of my goal in these. So entering around this time was a little bit later than I would have liked, but you know, I have an iron pick. I'm pretty far out. I have 7 obsidian, which honestly isn't the best thing.
Just
When
a
I'm this
standard
far out
nether
already.
entry.
Actually, I'm not even that far out. I wanted to go
And this
positive.
is
That's right.
so the overworld, pretty linear. Spawn, there's a village. The routing in the village is all linear. Just go to the nearby houses and then go to the golem, and the golem is right at the meeting area at the center of the village. The blacksmith is on the way as well, on the way to the iron golem. So all of the village was linear. There wasn't much room to show too much skill. He played it perfectly, but really it's not that he made a good play, it's that he didn't make a mistake, you know. Which is just as good, depending on how you look at it. But so far, the world's kind of played itself. He just didn't. He hasn't made any mistakes so far, other than not going right into more terrain. He went. I don't understand why anyone go around the coast there. I think that was basically like a. We could probably time it. T-Wag said there's a lava pool right over this hill actually.
lava pool. Don't see anything.
T-Wag, are you still here? Apparently there's a lava pool right behind this hill as well, or like a couple. And obviously there's a massive river here. There's gonna be so much gravel in there.
Nothing really to note in this desert. Check my.
Just nuke 'em, mods. Don't think. Just nuke. He's got a. Oops. Yep. Exclamation mark ban. Whoops, that's the wrong window. He's got a Among Us. Among Us username as well. Don't expect him to brighten up anytime soon.
Chords.
Join the YouTube video, yeah.
Which,
so if he went over that hill, it would be like sub 330 nether entry. Or even sub 4, right? Get him mods. Ban speed.
I don't really like being. I usually like trying to go positive for stronghold, etc. But I decided to play this in a bit of an interesting way.
Yep. Yep, YouTube.
I decided to hug the coast here because I know I need gravel still, and this is also.
So I'd say about now, right now, I'd say that he's. If he had went right, he'd be climbing that hill over there on the right side. Maybe you guys agree as well. 235, he'd be at the bottom of the hill that we were looking at.
Make my bucket, and this is also when I realized I have 9 beds. But whatever.
At the moment, he'd be starting his climb up the top of the hill.
I forgot to make my boat, which is really good.
And I'd say by now he'd be at roughly at the top of the hill.
Grab that, and then I'm kind of just hoping I see.
Now he would have found a lava pool right now. Dude, why is YouTube fucking me? What's your problem? Is it because I've got too much going on? 480p only? Why is YouTube having such a hard time? So he would have spotted a lava pool right now. He'd be running to the lava pool, which would take about 10 seconds. He'd have to route to the river, so it'd take about, 10 seconds for the flint as well. Basically, he'd be entering the nether at about 4 minutes.
That I'm at, and I want to still be pushing negative in both directions.
But that's an alternate reality that did not happen. He went strangely deeper into the ocean for some reason.
So entering around this time was a little bit later than I would have liked, but I have an iron pick. I'm pretty far out. I have 7 obsidian, which honestly isn't the best thing when I'm this far out already. Actually, I'm not even that far out. I wanted to go positive, that's right. So my X was more positive. So I spawned in the nether. I don't really see anything. I do have a crimson forest though, which is really nice because I'm able to trade even though I don't have any gold.
But yeah, linear overworld. One major mistake was not going into the terrain more for a Y63 lava pool. Yeah, absolutely. Someone's already provided the seed, but I'm not warmed up yet, so it'll take like half an hour or even longer than that because I need to still finish this video. It's been like 10 minutes. I'm only in 5 minutes so far. Everything else was pretty much normal though. No mistakes, no brilliancies. The only mistake obviously was not going right at that desert plain into more terrain.
So I see a bastion.
He's going correctly into the region. He understands regions.
So I see a bastion, and I have this gold here. So
he's getting gold boots.
I might as well mine this gold, make myself gold boots.
Standard bastion play.
And if this is a good
So he knows how to play bastions to an extent. He's not completely foreign to them.
At this point, I was thinking, let's do some.
It says he's not. He doesn't know too much about them.
Since I left the nether on a real run, why don't I just play this out? Honestly, that's realistically what I was thinking. I wanted to just play this out. So I make myself gold boots. I'm looking at what type of bastion it is, and it's a really good one. I forget what this is called. I just call it pig face. I don't know what the
like a chess game. Yeah, well, that's where I get most of my terminology from. Pumpkins.
And then there's this one. I just call it pig face because that's what the gold thing looks like to me.
Inaccuracies and stuff.
Embarrassingly bad.
I think they just have good terminology. I have to use their terminology because it's smart.
Because I'm really smart. So I dropped down. I decided to just build back up with the gold blocks because I didn't want to take any damage from.
That's a pretty normal mistake.
So why not? I guess. I'm able to grab all this, and right now I'm at 6 minutes, which is really good pace. I see a lot of piglins.
And having mining that gold block at the bottom here will actually help them. More piglins will arrive because of that bottom gold block that he mined.
You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna throw all my gold down.
Like it's maybe a mistake, but it worked out for him.
And they can start trading. So I'm trading like 2 stacks of gold at the 6.5 minute mark. And I already have.
He should have prioritized these piglins. So LSD told me that the bastion split was I think 221 or maybe it was 223 or something, which is about 30 seconds slower than the optimal route as we've seen. Optimal route didn't exist at the time of this run, but this is like there's 3 piglins. You're going to triple the time that you leave this bastion if you just get these piglins involved. If he's only going for world record, why would you not triple your time? Like, the time is going to move 3 times as fast if you get these piglins involved.
At this point, I can already nether travel, which is dope.
He tries a little bit, but...
So, I'm trying to get these piglin to come over,
this is...
and they really were not cooperating.
Why would that...
That's the only one that was. These 2 just did not want to come over here. I was really trying. I should have had my boots on at this point, but I was really trying to get them to come over and chase me, and then fall in the hole, and they just were not cooperating at all. They just weren't. Like this.
So I think it's just an experience handling piglins, because an experienced bastion runner or someone who trades a lot of gold, right? Which isn't very often, it's not very often until recently that you have a lot of gold that you need to trade as soon as possible. Piglinaire, yeah. With monuments and bastions, the biggest time loss you'll have in the entire run is not trading your gold quick enough. If you've only got 1 piglin and you're trading monument gold, you're going to be there for like 6 minutes or something. Go 72 times 6, and that's how many seconds you're going to spend waiting for all that gold to be traded. And that's actually the hardest part of the bridge. He happened to have, I believe some of these piglins are spawned from the Crimson Forest, which is really lucky. But the absolute top priority in a bastion, or with any large amount of gold, absolute top priority is filling in the floor or even just take away these walls. If you took away these walls, the items are going to fly around. But all of the gold is going to get traded 3 times as fast. But he says he doesn't really know bastions that much. He's probably practicing them now, maybe. I know, he'll be practicing his 1.7 now. I know a lot of people are practicing bastions now. Well, they'll be practicing the bridge maybe. Or maybe they're not even practicing it. Maybe they just think, well, I'll find a bridge as well and then do that. But, really hoping for a bastion of Thunder match, yeah. Oh, does he? Yeah, actually, I heard that he watched your video. The bottom line here is that your top priority over anything in a bastion, over anything, is trading all your gold. You need 1,000 piglins just to be standing right there.
This other dude with a sword just wants absolutely no part of me. And at this point, I still have 0 pearls. There could be pearls in the pit there, but I didn't see any. So at this point, I still have no pearls. This dude was just not. He was not having it. He did not. There was nothing stopping him from coming up here and attacking me, but he did not want to. So here I get my first 8 pearls, and then this hoglin comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, let's not die. So I kind of hide in this hole. I put my boots back on.
That's pretty standard, not preventable.
And then I was hoping that the reason I punched the hoglin is I was hoping.
Here's an iron pickaxe. If you have an iron pickaxe, it means if you see a bastion, you should enter the bastion. Right? Pretty obvious. But if you have a stone pickaxe, you should almost ignore bastions. Unless you can see a chest already, or I don't know. But as soon as you have an iron pickaxe, you should exchange your water bucket for a lava bucket because of hoglins. Again, I understand that he's not totally experienced in bastions, but for specifically bridge, you're gonna get killed by hoglins all the time. And having the lava bucket is the most important thing. But again, he's not that experienced in bastions. Why would you keep water in any case? Well, I actually have had nether exits where I've killed my water bucket for fun, or I've used a lava bucket. Are you gonna upload? Probably not. I might, but probably not. Is it a good idea to risk getting iron from chests and skip COD strats? What chests, LSD? I'd never enter a bastion without an iron pickaxe, honestly. Because if you don't have an iron pickaxe, your gold ore mining is going to be slower. And the reason, like, gold ore mining being slow doesn't sound that prohibitive. But the time it takes to mine nether gold ore is the reason why monument strats exist. The only way monuments are viable for sub 20 and sub 15 is because you can mine gold in a monument faster than you can mine nether gold ore. It's the only reason monuments are good. So mining nether gold ore with a stone pickaxe is like, you really need to use that for gold, not for boots. You need to use it for trades and just play a vanilla run. That's why having an iron pickaxe is so good. But yeah, COD strats is pretty janky. It takes a while, and that's why villageless is just better for bastion worlds. Villageless and island worlds. Get 'em mods. New points request. Maybe the mods have to read what the points does. Villageless and island worlds are faster for bastion worlds. So if this was... No, you can't really pull alternate realities in villageless versus village worlds. But you can enter the nether a lot quicker, and you can have an iron pickaxe a lot quicker in villageless and shipwreck or buried treasure worlds than village worlds. He happened to have a blacksmith that had iron in it, so he had a similar pace to village or shipwreck worlds. A little slower, but again, I think the main time loss, the reason he entered the nether a minute late is because he didn't route the overworld desert very well. That desert hill is still the biggest mistake in the run. But yeah, if this isn't a real critique, but if anyone is hoping to learn bastions better, at your lava pool that you're making a nether portal at, you need to ditch your water bucket somehow and pick up lava, because you're going to die to hoglins.
That because I had gold boots on, and the hoglin was attacking me, that the other piglins would start attacking it, but that didn't happen. So I had to kind of just sit here and regen. I decided to double my ender pearl, so I know I'm about
Yeah,
to
it turned
jump
out to be a
pit
pretty good
before I
thing,
get
because
my
he'd
ender
probably
pearl.
be a bit impatient with the
So I
trades
double them over.
if
I
that
know this
hoglin
hoglin's gonna get
hadn't
to me now
messed him
because he's
around.
stuck. And I have 16 pearls, which is
How do
really
you
nice.
deal with
I
villageless
wanted a little
food?
bit more. Times
Shipwrecks
that I
have it,
think I could have left right now, but I wanted
and
one more
buried
trade to
treasure has
safety,
it.
and I have
Food,
so
that
much
is.
gold down there. What's it gonna take? Like a minute max.
But yeah, I
It
think you
wasn't
should
taking
have
that
like
long to get
15
it.
pork chops or 15 steak or
So
something.
I'm out. I think that was probably it. Could have been 3.
That's all you need for world record. You need
up
less than that
4
for world
pearl
record,
trades.
really.
So like good luck on that, but nothing like too crazy. And I start
But that's
playing
the
around and
thing is
instantly find
that
fortress. Sorry. I need to.
yeah, we'll go back
What's
on
it gonna
that.
take? Like a minute.
That's the thing is that if you're playing for world record, you play completely different strats than if you're going for sub 30. You can lava bucket hoglins. Yeah, or that's maybe you mean piglins, but lava bucketing hoglins is what the lava bucket is for. The piglins isn't a big deal. Suspicious stew, yeah. Hoglins as well. Yeah, I think it's all a bit slow T-Wag though. That's the problem with villageless food, is that it's slow to get it. If there was a really fast way of getting food, the villageless would probably be entirely meta right now. But at the moment it's just a bit niche, a bit modern. Yeah, if there was a good way to get food that was super fast, because all of those are really good. But if you spawn in a bastion, if you spawn in a fortress with no food, you need to leave the bastion or fortress to get food, which kills a world record run on the spot. Convert shipwreck carrots to golden carrots. Oh, true. Yeah, I could guess you could do that once. You could do it in bastions, I
It
guess.
wasn't gonna
Yeah.
take that long, and I get it.
But yeah, his. I don't know if he opens his coordinates again. He does. So his region. His region is positive. Oh, he's going negative X. Okay. So he's going to the negative positive region. I really thought that he was already in the negative positive. No, what was I thinking? I was thinking he was negative Z, positive X. Right. She was pretty close to spawn. Exclamation mark nether regions, but I do intend on making a nether regions video at some point.
So I'm out.
But yeah, I don't think this run would exist if he didn't know regions. This run would be dead on the spot right now if he didn't know regions. Maybe. Open area to the right.
Probably it could have been 3.
Oh, right. Over here, you mean? He goes left? Yeah, I think I would have went left here. Doesn't that increase his X more? Wait. So this is negative X. Oh, he's going negative. Right, I know what you mean, Tuag. Where would I have went? An open area? Well, you'd go if you didn't have food, you'd go to the open area. If you're making stews, dandelion stews, from here it almost looks dead, yeah. If you had dandelions in your inventory, you'd go right every single time. But he's already got food, and I don't know, he probably doesn't do dandelion stews. Plays villages because he's trying to get world record. I don't know. I'd probably run down here quicker than I'd throw that way.
So like good luck on that, but nothing like.
But he was at the center of the nether. Actually, no. If we look back here, this does seem like a sound play. So he is checking his coordinates. He already knew what his coordinates were back here.
And I have so much gold down there. What's it gonna take? Like a minute max. I knew it wasn't gonna take that long, and I get it. So
I'm not sure how consciously he did this, but currently he's at the center of the nether, right? This is about dead center on the nether. And that's a good thing in a lot of ways. Exclamation mark battleships. It means you can check multiple regions at the same time. So if he keeps one of his coordinates exactly the same as it is already, then he can check 2 regions at the same time, basically. Because he's looking for a close fortress. He's not looking for a reliable fortress, he's looking for a close fortress. So staying on the border of 2 regions, if you go exclamation mark nether regions again, the red area is the border of 2 regions. If he stays there, he'll be able to check 2 regions at the same time because he's looking for high rolls, not for low rolls. Or not low rolls. He's not looking for an average run, he's looking for a really good run. So by staying on the border of 2 regions,
I think that was probably
you can check 2 regions at the same time.
I'm gonna guess that it was 4.
So this play is actually completely sound. I'm not sure if that's what he was thinking of, I'll check 2 regions at the same time, but from an analysis perspective, this play is completely sound. There's no harm in it as well. He's got 16 plus 5 pearls. If this lava sea is a dud, it costs him no time. He threw a pearl. If there's no fortress there, he just pearls over here, right? So in this point of time, throwing throwing a pearl that's not that, I don't know, just throwing a pearl basically on accident or in a bad move doesn't cost that much time. So this is pretty harmless.
So like good luck on that, but nothing like too.
Turns out that it was the best play in the situation. Always go to open netherways instead of lava lake, yeah. But I think this is a sound play, and it's also harmless. Even if this returned nothing, he would have got to here. He sees nothing in the lava sea. He would have turned around and pearled off into the open as well. I think this is a totally fine, if not a good play.
Crazy, and I start pearling around and instantly find a fortress.
I'd have to pause to make that move actually, because I'd think, well, do I go left or do I go right? Right would be better for mushrooms. But left, there's no harm in checking it. Because he's got so many pearls. If he was only on 14 pearls, this would be a mistake that happened to turn out well. But he's got so many pearls that it doesn't really matter. He's got so much food as well. There was a harmless check that didn't cost him any time if it went wrong. And it ended up saving the run, basically. It was a harmless risk with the amount of pearls that he had.
To not talk about random things and just talk about what's going on. So I'm looking at my chords here. So the bastion was in the positive quadrant, so I knew that the fortress was going to be.
That was a very well placed pearl.
In negative positive.
I wouldn't have trusted that island much.
But I pearl onto the good part of the fortress. That pearl was extremely risky, but I had fire.
Pearling in the fortress there is probably his first brilliancy. I'm not sure, but I feel like very little players would pearl inside a fortress. But I think that was, at this point, I was impressed. I think it showed there that he was pretty experienced with having a lot of pearls. Maybe he's played something else where you have a lot of pearls. But he says that he isn't too experienced with bastions. He doesn't say it, but he implies it. And it also shows in that bastion routing that he was doing. But that one pearl there saved him a lot of time. Because he didn't have much pearl usage in the brilliancy, gaining 120 centi thorns. It turned out that the overworld didn't have much area to pearl around in. Although there kind of was, but he used the boat instead, which was pretty harmless. But we'll get there soon.
I checked the see that.
But yeah, there's not much terrain left, really. And if he was kind of keeping track of coordinates, it turned out that being on top of this was actually the best place to put a portal, statistics-wise. SharpieMan20 looked at the numbers, and that was basically the best location that you could blind travel from. Which is pretty crazy, because he doesn't use the calculator. Not that you need to. All the calculator does is tells you the nearest good location. Goes right to it with no F3. Nah, he was keeping track of his coordinates the whole time.
I have 150 still on my
Reasoning
fire
is
res, and I
sound,
decided, you know
yeah.
what, screw it. I might as well just drink another one now, because I don't want to accidentally forget that I don't have fire res when I'm going for this blaze stuff. So
That extra fire res is
what I'm
totally
gonna
fine
do,
as well.
I
I
see
don't
this
mind
blaze
him
spawner,
using
and I'm
other
like,
fire
alright,
res there.
cool. This gas is shooting at me. Not the greatest, but I have fire res, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. I kind of just ignored him. Killing the blazes, 0 for 1, and then I get 1 for 2 here.
I think if anyone wants to be suspicious about something, it's that every good run he's had has had excellent pearl rod rates. And that's probably the only thing that the mods are looking at, is that his pearl rod? Why did I say pearl rod?
I actually barely use the spawner. This spawner was not cool.
His rod rates are just excellent in every single good run that he's had. It's
chance of spawning mobs and fortresses, which
it's
is
odd.
very apparent in a second.
Pearl rod.
So spawners aren't even like quote unquote necessary. Obviously they're helpful, but not like super necessary. I was hearing a lot.
And this is actually the other. Well, he didn't quite do it yet, but he talks about it. Looking for stray blazes is just about one of the best ways to get a world record.
See that, you know, on my left there's like 50. 2 for 3.
What do you mean, did they? It was only just
3 for 4,
acquired today.
And I believe 4 for 5. Yeah, so
This
I
time.
have 4, and I'm trying to play it risky now. I decided to leave the spawner.
He says it's risky. This is great. What's wrong with it? It's as if, right? It's as if there's an extra spawner right here. There's 3 blazes. It's as if there's a spawner right here that's just popped. You can go off and kill 3 blazes.
I decided to play it more safe.
This is a great play.
Kind of in that pit and just go.
Again, I think this is a play that not many people would do, especially in a scary open fortress like this. I think most players would be pretty hesitant to start wandering around looking to kill some stray blazes. But it's absolutely the best play in the situation. Relying on the spawner to cycle is just, I don't know, it's not that good for world record.
Go for these ones out here.
Because again, he says he's only playing for world record.
I think about going for this dude, but he is so far down. I'm like, screw it. And there's a wither skeleton that withers me to the left. And I didn't realize at the time, so that was very scary. I jump over here because I know they're all going to chase me and they're all going to just fall, which they do, which is honestly pretty funny.
Best players cheat forward to build
so
a
I don't
portal?
worry about that anymore.
I wouldn't make a portal. I wouldn't poke around trying to multitask in this situation. This is too wide open. It's a Soul Sand Valley fortress. There's going to be wither skeletons everywhere.
And I decide to make a random portal instead of going back to my own because I'm like, you know what? This is pretty good pace. We're going to random portal it. And
leaving with 6 is totally fine.
Let's just say that decision paid off. There's a reason you're watching this video.
You're banking on low rolls if you get 7 rods. You're hoping that you low roll if you get 7 rods. He's only looking for high rolls because he's only going for world record. So he goes for 6, which is the only good play. If he got 7, it would be a misplay. Why does he make the golden boots at the start? Because he entered a bastion.
Cool moment of the video. I knew my chords. I checked.
You can't enter bastions without gold boots.
To randomly teleport. And I spawned in an ocean cave.
Or a gold helmet for that matter.
Because I purposely went higher up because I didn't want to spawn in an ocean cave. And
by the way, going left after leaving the bastion took him to the closest region. He was at the center of the nether though. It was harmless, any direction. He's mining for either no bastion or bastion. Then he sees one, he just makes it into boots. I usually get 4 ingots first, wait for him to see a bastion. Yeah, I thought he'd already seen a bastion, but it's kind of hard to tell because he does post commentary. Like he might say that he saw a bastion and then he mined gold to get boots, but in the moment it might have been different, you know. If he hadn't actually seen the bastion first, then it was just good luck. And very fortunate that the gold ore was sufficient for boots. He was mining right as he saw it. 23 regions weren't centered. I don't know, it was completely harmless and just a decent good play for him to go in any direction when you're at the center of the nether. Like the way that he was.
Still did. So not great there. I still have to make my
Especially
pearls,
with
11
pearls.
minutes. And at this point, I actually start to realize, like, okay, this is really good pace. So I throw
So
the
that
first
pearl's
iron,
heading inland.
and I
So
proceed
you need to
then
start
knock
thinking
down
about
two
when you're going to
pieces.
get out of this boat.
Honestly, something that I never do.
And he
I
makes the
always
same
try to
mistake that
dodge that
Fyro
bullet and
makes.
point into myself, but it actually is
That he
making
gets
the
too
X go
attached to his
down
boat.
slash up slash whatever you want to call it. The X number is rising, even though it's negative.
So no one should be so attached to the boat that they're going to waste time diverting. Maybe you could argue that this is a tall hill and he wants to go around it, but losing your angle means you need to risk another throw. And I mean, I said before that you're banking on low rolls if you get 7 rods. But you don't need to throw eyes needlessly. You should try and stay on the same angle as much as you can. He's still got pearls, right? I'm not sure how many pearls he has, but he still has pearls.
I'm thinking that means, it's screwed. Shoot, it's going to probably be pretty far.
Maybe that's a scary
But,
enough
I
hill
see a 1700,
that you
so
should
I'm like,
boat around it, but
let's throw
I
another
still don't
iron,
like
let's
how
see-
attached people get to their boats and their dolphins. Keeping your angle and not missing the stronghold is far more important than staying in your boat.
Close. Maybe it is. We'll see. So you'll see I take a little bit of a side angle here and decide to throw another one. And I'm kind of just hoping, maybe it's close.
This
maybe
is
it goes
basically a
behind,
good
and it goes
play
straight.
as well. And that's probably... Shouldn't you not keep your angle on blind travel? No, keeping it... I can't see why. Triangulating within a few hundred blocks is the way to go, right? Not sure what you mean. But the strategy that he's done where you throw 2 eyes quickly is what I really believe in as well. I thought you could go around and regain your angle. Humans aren't that smart. You're relying on humans to be smart too much. It sounds pretty easy, just literally get your angle again, forehead. But whenever you see people try and regain their angle, they completely overshoot the stronghold. Or just lose their angle completely. If you blind travel on a high roll, you should go to the side, throw second eye at 100 blocks. That's basically what he did. Is that what you're meaning? Because I didn't really realize that at the time. Like, at the time being a minute ago. Makes sense. Human equals Papega. Yeah, exactly. Maybe if you're a superhuman, I feel like he played it perfect for high roll. Well, that's the theme of this run, is that he played it perfectly for high rolling. And that's what he got. He got high rolls after high rolls because he was asking for them and he got them. And none of it was suspicious either. It would be suspicious if he wasn't making high roll plays and still got high rolls. But all of his plays were leading into high rolls. He was asking for them and then subsequently getting them. But yeah, I totally advocate throwing 2 eyes basically as soon as you get out of the portal. At any... Well, not in a vanilla run where you run to the stronghold from a distance. We're talking about modern runs where you're either nether traveling or in a monument run. Often you're quite close to the stronghold, and you should check these kinds of things because it's so easy to overshoot the stronghold. I feel like a large number of players, again, this is a pretty brilliant run, this one, because he's making sure that if the game does high roll, he's going to be ready to catch it. A high roll is like, it's a metaphor for rolling a 6, right? He's trying to roll 6s. Because he wants to get a world record, and that's exactly what he gets. And playing into high rolls is quite difficult. Put all your money on 6, yeah, exactly. It's difficult to play for high rolls because it feels like you're going to make more mistakes. It feels like, oh man, there's no chance that I'm going to get 12 pearls here. Risk it for the biscuit. Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to play that way. It's easy to play it if there's nothing on the line, like digging down for the stronghold randomly or boating to the stronghold, But if you've got 14 pearls in your inventory, 7 rods, it's hard to go back to Like everyone when they think of nether travel, right? They think, okay, I'll go back to the overworld, throw an eye, and then make a portal in that direction. It turns out that it's just slower in a lot of ways. Obviously, it's more accurate, but it's just going to be slower a lot of the time. And if you want a world record, you can't do educated travel. No, this is one of the least fake runs. There's been faker runs than this. Well, another way saying there's been more suspicious runs than this. At no point in this run did I think that it was something was faked. Yeah, educated travel is just not something you should do if you're going for world record. And that's the difference between playing for world record or playing for sub 20 or sub 30 or sub 40 or these kinds of things. You need to make different plays. If you want a sub 30, do educated travel and you'll nail it. But if you want a sub 20, you need to start doing blind travel. Both are good plays, but they're good plays in different situations. Exact right amount of mistakes and luck and skill, yeah. Yeah, maybe you could start. I need to save it for the song request. Maybe you could start thinking about. No, you couldn't. His biggest mistake so far was not knowing that lava pools generate at a low level, which isn't even a mistake. It's just he doesn't know about it. Mods, can you put the world record in the new? Well, can you put this world record in the command? For ! World record. See T-Wag. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? 105 viewers with no raid. I don't know how it's happened, man. This is the quickest it's happened, I think. Only 1 hour.
5-degree angle. And I'm like, did I misthrow my first eye? Is it actually right here?
Oh, come on, LSD. You just got rid of the damn set seed world record. Look at all that infrastructure going. One more thing. Not the jungle temple seed, T-Wag. Wait until you can watch me do it. Don't send it in yet.
In the world, but I don't see it in the water here. I was looking.
Can you put the links in though, LSD, and the set seed link as well? I think Winona's gonna do it anyway. Was it Winona? Yeah, Winona's gonna do it. Needs to have the links in it. Most without a raid. Yeah, it was about 140.
For it, I didn't see it, so I.
And this is basically perfect play. He didn't need to throw this eye. He already knew it was here, and that's maybe you could call it a bit of a mistake. Is that he didn't trust. I don't know. Maybe it's trusting your instinct, but he's so absolutely certain that the stronghold is here. But he says he's losing his mind, so that's probably why he throws another eye, because he feels like there's no way that it's here. Because he said, well, maybe he must judge the angle or something. But in hindsight, maybe, or from the back seat. Oh, thanks for the sub, T-Leg. I thought you were sitting in the sea. Maybe you were, and maybe you've diverted. I don't know. It's just so certain that the stronghold is here. So throwing this eye was really risky. There was a chance right here that the run could have ended if it wasn't a one eye and the eye broke, you know. This could have ended the run right here, which is pretty crazy. So maybe this is an even bigger mistake than going right at the hill. But he's at 12 minutes, RTA. And he's pretty sure he's at the stronghold. I don't blame him for making the mistake, but it is a mistake. Throwing this eye is a mistake.
Right here, and I throw it, and the eye goes directly down. And I'm like, oh my god. At this point, I realized the pace that I'm on. I realized that this is absolutely...
The run could have instantly ended at that moment.
Insane. I did not want this creeper doing anything to me, so I decided to just kill it, and now I do a strat called 4-4. So if you see the XYZ underneath this block, and underneath that is chunk.
Also, some people might say that digging down at exactly 4-4 is a bad move. So we call the strategy 4-4 because it's where the center of the staircase is. Everyone realizes now that you should probably dig down at 5-4 or 3-4 or 3-3 or 5-5, anything around 4-4 so that you land on the stairs. But if you're going for world record, just MLG or take the full damage. He's got 10 hearts. Taking the full damage is not a big deal. It saves him a couple seconds. He's not really going for the second saved because he's killing that creeper for some reason, instead of just knocking it away or something. 3 or 4 punches is just as good and is as fast as, if not faster, than killing the creeper, but going directly down at 4-4 isn't that bad of a mistake if he's got 10 hearts and food. Unless there's a lava lake. Yeah, that's actually the biggest reason not to dig down at 4-4. Is there can be a ravine directly underneath the staircase.
4, and then a descending number because I'm digging down, and then 4 again. What 4-4 is
doesn't have water to MLG. He's got 10 hearts. But yeah, he should have put the water there as well. Regardless of whether or not, you're right, regardless whether or not digging down at 4-4 is a good or bad move, he should have a water bucket on his bar right now. Random lava stream flowed down the staircase. Jesus. That makes sense actually. It'd start at the top of the staircase, wouldn't it?
Quadrant of the staircase.
There it is. Water bucket. A bit late.
Fall in the middle, like I just did every single time if you're in 4-4. So I know that I'm in the start of the stronghold. It's not that way.
Routing is great so far. I know he's already quite fond of going left at every situation. I think he said in the 114 world record that he's got that he just goes left. And that's better than frolicking around.
It's not over here.
He didn't check that doorway, mistake. He didn't check that doorway, mistake.
I'm like, where do I go? And
then he finds it. But maybe he heard the silverfish? No, he didn't, because he was still checking left. Suspiciously late. No, yeah, it's not suspiciously late. I think the most suspicious thing in the run so far is skipping doorways, which happened in another previous run that wasn't world record or anything. It was like top 10 or top 15 at the time. But there was someone who didn't check a single doorway and just ran straight to the portal room, which was kind of strange.
Of the
staircase
of the stronghold, like
if anything's suspicious about this entire run, it's that he didn't check these doors.
Like I did every single time if you're in 4.
This is fine. This is totally normal.
So
he checks this, totally normal.
The stronghold, it's not that way.
Still here. Totally normal. Not checking that door. See, he thinks to look. But why wouldn't you look? Why can't you just look in the doorway? It doesn't... See, he moves his mouse a bit. And then he moves away. Why not?
Not over.
Oh, there was no raid frost. This is actually raw. Someone can clear that or reset that command. Yeah, there's no raid frost. Pretty crazy, yeah.
Here.
And he didn't check behind him here. If anything is suspicious, it's... Yeah, what was it, Sped? I know there was something else that was, I thought might have been suspicious, but this, not checking that doorway, not checking the corridor that's behind him. He's kind of checked this. I'd say he's adequately checked this now. No, the lava, there's nothing suspicious about. Oh, no, I don't think that was suspicious at all. That was just a straight misplay in the desert. Not checking that door is a mistake as well. It's Pearl and Blaze rates. Yeah, rod rates, that's the one. Because his rod rates are good in every single good run that he has. Someone has looked at his rod rates overall. Because you can actually access his entire runs. Even though he hasn't been live streaming on Twitch or anything, you can access his full recordings. And they do check out. They are 50-50, if not a little bit above 50-50, but that's to be expected. But every single good run he's had has had perfect rod rates, basically. Not 10 out of 10, well, not 7 out of 7 or 6 out of 6 or anything, but very good rod rates. I don't think I've seen any of his runs have, or any of his PBs that is, have bad rod rates. See you, Groot. Thanks for being added. But yeah, not checking the doorways, odd. I don't think there was silverfish. Maybe we can check it again.
So I know that I'm in the start of the stronghold. It's not that way. I go over here.
You should be able to start hearing them now.
Nah.
Rolling for sixes, yeah. Well, it's needless, totally needless risk. Silverfish hisses, but he's already in the room. I don't know. That's probably the most odd part of the run. And that was the most odd part of a different run as well, is that someone just skipped all the doorways.
You can kind of see my movement there. I'm a little bit
With
shaky.
rod
At this point,
rates?
I'm realizing
Nah,
I'm
but you
up
can
to
finish
something.
PBs with great times and have bad rod rates.
So I hop up here, and this is honestly the thing that separates my run in the previous world record. My end fight is really fast, and
Yeah, he goes for
there's a
perch
lot of,
strats.
half the end fight
You
is
can
luck,
kind
but
of
I
do
think
it on the
other half
opposite
is
side, but
the
he went
RNG
straight to it.
manipulation
He's not
they
making
do.
slabs or
This is
anything
something
yet.
that the previous world record did not have. I believe I actually haven't checked.
So this isn't a bad play. It can be a bad play to go on this side because you want to check that it's perching, but if you're east-west like he is, and if you go straight to the obsidian tower, it's not risky to be on this side of the tower. Usually clear one branch at a time rather than checking all the doors of a room at once. Well, it's that he didn't even look at them. You don't need to open the doors or anything. I mean, you can, but it takes no time. It takes half a second to look down a hallway or something.
Check the splits, but I believe I enter the nether or the end slower than previous world record. But I do manipulate the RNG by towering
And it's
up.
perching already.
I already see it perching.
He could already
This is
tell. Yeah, he
insane.
sees it.
This is actually gonna do it.
He goes for
my
full
bed's
full
ready, I have my
block.
block
He
ready,
could have
I have my pearl
crafted
ready.
slabs
Just
by
need the
now,
dragon to
but
come
I'm pretty
down,
sure he is a full
and
block.
I'm waiting, and I'm waiting.
Um,
Hoping. And finally,
one cycler.
eventually.
Perch
slowly but
RNG was
surely,
actually a little below average.
Hit the
Could have been a
sides.
little quicker.
And here we go. It is
The
go
dragon
time.
chooses a random
There's
number
pearl, I
between
find my
0 and
bed,
20
And here we go.
of the height above the tower it wants to
Final
be.
one cycle. Do you guys think I get it? Do you think I finished the one cycle? I actually do it really early because
He doesn't crouch in
I
the
didn't
one
want to screw it
cycle.
up. This one cycle is again awful, as is my 1.14 world record. That is just because my nerves are out of control, and I did it in 7. So not the worst, not the best.
Pretty
but
standard one
that is
cycle.
it. That's the world record. The new 1.16.1 world record. At the time of recording this, obviously it's not verified, but
And something for literally every single runner to see is that he went for perch strats and he got a perch. Just please go for perch strats. Stop trying to do the end raw.